We're doing the Coomingira Horseshoe today. It's down in the Beara Peninsula, just outside Laura is the name of the place, I think. It's a good old loop by the look of it. It's Rabex Glyn, is what's going up there. So yeah, it's my first time here. I came here, well, I drove into the valley last year on a bad weather day, just because I was passing it, and it looked absolutely amazing. So I always had to come back here. And the weather this weekend is supposed to be good. Today is supposed to be good in particular. So I decided to take the opportunity. Small bit apprehensive about it. There's a couple of different peaks. It's not the highest, but it is very rocky. Terrain I'm not used to. We'll head on anyway and see how we get on with it. Yeah, it looks amazing, like, already. But there's a good old steepness. I'm trying to get the back there to show the steepness of it. The mountains in the distance. Looks like the Alps because there's snow on the tops of them. Right, we'll put the head down and carry on with it. It's after totally opening up all of a sudden. It's not looking forward to that, but we'll manage it. There's a fair wind whipping across the top there, coming over. We're sheltered here, so it's still fairly nippy, but we're doing all right. So this is Currarig. I'll pop the name up. Currarig, maybe. So it's the first kind of proper hill, proper peak we're after getting to, and the views don't disappoint. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. You can see back over there to Toot Mountain is one of them. We still have a long way to go. That whole ridge behind me here to that side, there's a lot of walking, but I'm hoping that the drag we just came up there, that's the longest part of it. Well, it's not the longest part, but the slowest part of it. So we'll carry on. We won't mess around. It's cold up here, but look, it's blue skies, sunshine. It can be as cold as it wants. We've been a while waiting for this weather, so we have. So all right, we carry on. We're in the top of the next peak now. There's a nice stroll over from the last one. Lackabawn is the name of it. I don't think there's any cairn or bundle of rocks or anything here, but you can see the one we just came from is over there. We're all the way down into the valley here. It's spectacular. So that lock over there, I've looked at the name of it. I think they're taking the piss. There's like Lochan and or something. But down here, there's circular buildings. Oh, there's a whole lot of buildings in the corner there, just by the rock. Just here, I think. So that's Rabex Glyn. There's a cool story about it. And I might mention it later on. I had to put the jacket on. It's windy enough up here. Cold. Here it's not too windy. I have to stop talking about the wind. I think from now on, just assume it's going to be windy. I will not mention it anymore. Because I think if I had a windy counter in the sheep's head video, I'd have been well into the double digits. And in the summer, I imagine to be all green. Like we're only near the end of February here now, so everything's still kind of dead. Could be another one we have to come back to. We've just come down off Loch Aban there, and now we're going up here. Look at the cliff. The cliffs are very impressive here. Even the first Curragh Rogue was pretty cool as well. A few sheep. I'm being watched by the mountain mafia. They're very wary of me. We're in Escatarv now. Over to the right there is the entire ridge we've come along. It's Loch Aban. There's still a good bit to go, but some views in it. It's after getting fair cold. When the sun goes in, it is lively. Yeah, it looks a lot worse than it is. It's fine. It's a very unusual ridge, isn't it? Just the whole angle. You can see the sheep's head over where we were last week. At least I think that's it anyway. It is, yeah. So gonna have a quick bite to eat here now. I'm getting hungry. I can feel it. This is Escatarv here, and that's Rabbeck's Linn down there. And there's a whole murder mystery thing. Not a murder mystery, but a fella, Rabbeck, whose Irish name is Violent, so it kind of goes all over the place. So this guy killed a sailor that turned up one night, and a woman saw him. A year later he killed her, and then a year later or something he was captured and taken off to Tralee and hanged or whatever. So you're looking down here at this beautiful valley, and it's Rabbeck's Linn is the name of it, and there's a fantastic story about it. And the peak here is Escatarv, which in Irish is Escantarv, which is the Pat of the Bull, or the Bull's Ravine. I saw it somewhere else. Don't know what story about that is, but must have been some bull to get up here. But I mean, it is fantastic up here. The scenery is just all around, and you're looking over into Hungry Hill is over there. And the thing about this point in general is it's on the Cork Kerry border. The Cork Kerry border runs along the ridge here, so it's all pretty cool there. And I mean that both ways. Heath Hags here. It's tough enough going. There's nothing tricky about it, but just the navigating it is a pain in the arse. Yeah, and it's very boggy then as well, some parts of it. So we'll give a, hopefully we won't sink here now. No, stones. Oh. So yeah, it is very boggy. Yeah, shit. So yeah, so that's the downside to here. It's fine other than that. But you know, I'd be wary getting stuck in it. Here it is alright. Come here, it is relatively dry compared to what it would have been a while back. There's a pat emerging every now and again. I don't know if there's a sheep pat, a deer pat, or a person pat, but it's definitely very helpful along the way. So I'll put this away now and concentrate on it. This is the top of Toot Mountain. I think it's about 600. I'll pop it up on the screen there now. But the views are pretty spectacular. All around you have the full length of the Ivory Peninsula. I can even see the Paps in way off in the distance there. But yeah, the clouds are making it look pretty cool as well. I have to be honest, I'm finding that tough going, coming over from, I don't think I've talked much in the last, well, it's probably only a few clips in the video, but but in the last while I haven't talked much because I'm just finding it tough going. The ground is hard. Like, I looked at the distance, I looked at the elevation, that seemed okay, but the underfoot conditions it's just concentration the whole time and a bit boggy. But anyway, we won't take it apart. When you get up here and you're looking across, you're like, yeah, this is pretty amazing. We're after coming down off the back of Toot Mountain there now. That was tough going and not one bit enjoyable, to be honest. At least on the positive side, we're going downhill. So this is where we are now, working our way down. The mood is after improving a small bit, so we've just come down. There's a gully up there, and now we're down onto relatively okay ground here. A bit more to go yet, but it's okay. We're a few minutes down from where I was there the last time I talked, but now we can see across the valley and see where we went up this morning. And I'm looking at it now thinking, what were you thinking? So hopefully I'll be able to put something on the screen for this. So we went off up to the left there, maybe should have gone up the gully, and Lacaban is the big guide in, but it looks fairly big. And the funny thing is, like, Lacaban there is only 602 meters, but it's so imposing looking. It's brilliant. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh now. I presume tomorrow when I think back on it and watch the video and stuff, I might be feeling a bit better about it, but there was definitely parts there I didn't enjoy at all. Now that I'm back at the car overall and I'm looking back up at it, it's amazing. And I'm sure when I go looking at the videos later on tonight when I go home, it'll just be, because I know the views to the Ivory Peninsula and everything, and the views into Robox Glen here. I was chatting to a local lady, and or the person near that owns the place, and she was just telling me about the history of some of the history up at the back. It sounds very interesting. I'd say I'll definitely be coming back here just to go up to the valley and give a look at the famine houses and the whole area there. I could see some of them when I was up in the peaks, but obviously I didn't know anything about them. Up top it was incredibly cold with the wind, and it was kind of constant. I'm down here now in the valley and it's lovely. You would know nothing about it, but it's so yeah. Look, overall I'm kind of high now. I'm back at the car. I wasn't terribly enjoying it up at Toot Mountain from Escatara over to Toot, but look, you'll get days like that. I think I said at the start I was a bit apprehensive, so I'd probably just carry through to it. Will I do it again this year? Probably at some stage. Would I do it on my own? Probably not. There's definitely a bit of reassurance going with someone else. But yeah. Anyway, look, I'm rambling. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next one.